We have three speakers with us in this session. Mr. Atul Pethe, then we have Ms. Shaili Satyu, and then we have Mr. Vinay Sharma. This session is the previous session, as you know, was focusing on the story and narration, and this session primarily looks at direction and narration. And as you can see, the setup has already changed. There is an element of direction that has gone into the setup, so we are into the mode which Mr. Ramu Ramanathan also kind of reminded us that Ashok Dharanade would have liked this far better than our a boring session in general. So a few questions that Ashutosh kind of tries to bring out in this session through his curatorial concept, and I'm going to just read out those questions. I think those are very important for us to kind of think through while we are listening to the sessions. They are: what is the nature of a director, designer in narrating a story? In which ways she engages with storytelling, composing and designing a play? How does a director come up with different ways of telling and presenting a story through rehearsal processes? What if there is no story to tell? What are the different narrative, non-narrative motivations in creating performance for an audience that comes from different age groups as well as diverse social and cultural backgrounds? How does a director cross the boundaries of a play and contemporary society and politics in the process of making of a play? I think these questions also allowed Ashutosh to kind of think of the speakers, because the kind of speakers that we have today have a diverse range of work. Ms. Shaili Satyu works with, recently in the recent past she started working with toddlers, but she works with young audiences. Then we have Mr. Vinay Sharma, who actually is going to present a paper on the anti-narrative. So when, I'm presuming, I haven't heard his presentation yet, but I'm presuming that would take us to the question of what do we do when we do not have a story to tell. And finally, we have Atul Pethe's presentation, which of course would take us to the question of the political in narrative storytelling. So we'll begin in this session. The way we are conducting it is, firstly we will take the presentations of all the three presenters. So we will have them one after the other. In each case, I will introduce the presenter, and then we have the presentation. And after all these presentations are done, we will take the questions all together, right? So to begin with, our first presenter for this afternoon is Mr. Atul Pethe. I was recently reading an interview that he did, and he says something very interesting. He says, we are living in a pav bhaji culture. Nobody understands what they are eating. Taste of individual elements are lost. In the same interview, he goes on to say that he tries to demystify, deglorify and deconstruct, as it were. So it seems like his quote suggests that his agenda for his theatre, at least, is to try to demystify this not knowing of what we do, right? So he was born and brought up in Pune in the 1960s. He calls himself a post-90s kid. He has an interesting definition of his education. He differentiates between Shikshan and Pariksha. Okay, and so he says that he's a self-taught theatre director, and he actually relates that to Pariksha and not Shiksha as such. He says that Prashiksha and not Shiksha as such. He says that he was inspired by the works that he saw as a child when his mother used to take him for performances. He saw performances by Shriram Lagu, Prabhakar Pansikar, Kashinath Ghanekar, and he read a lot of post-independence Dalit literature. He was regularly reading the newspaper, which kind of helped him groom himself. He also joined Shishu Ranjan when he was in class 10, which is associated to Theatre Academy. He started writing around this time. he said that theatre, and I found this interesting definition of theatre. He said that खुद के सुर को जानने का तरीका है theatre. So that I think is something to think about. He calls Vijay Tendulkar his guru. It was with Theatre Academy that he travelled across Europe and saw quite a few performances which influenced his work. He took part in writers' workshop with Mahesh L. Kunchwar, Satish Alekar and G.P. Deshpande, who are stalwarts of Marathi theatre. Satish Alekar was here a little while back. He is, I don't think, here in the crowd at the moment. He saw films at the Institute, plays by Shambhu Mitra, Badal Sarkar, which influenced his work a lot. He combined forces with Pune Nagar Mahapalika Kamgar Union to stage Satya Shodhak, a play about the life of Jyotiba and Savitribai Phule. His Ringan Nataks have raised many issues and questions following the assassination of the rationalist Dr. Narendra Dabholkar. I wouldn't talk about his work much here because I think he will do that himself while presenting today's topic. Thank you.
जवळजवळ निम्म तर शर्मिष्ठाने most of the things you have already told to the people. So I hope you will give me 20 minutes or 10 minutes. Okay. Thank you, Ashutosh, and thank you, Ashok Ranade Trust, for inviting me here and given an opportunity. This is one conspiracy against our director Vinay, against us, because they kept this session deliberately post-lunch. So it is our now duty and responsibility to keep people awake. Okay, anyway, my 20 minutes starts now. My narrative in theatre. Each one of us is deeply rooted in the times he lives in. Whatever one expresses directly or indirectly, knowingly or unknowingly, is indicative of that time. Being an artist, I am not exception to this. 1990 was a very important year in many respects. The world changed so much, a large degree, that it can be clearly divided in the pre-90 and post-90 era. There was a fundamental shift. Parameters of time and space changed. Speed without direction seems to be the hallmark of this era. In this Gola Yuga, or age of chaos, offering and partaking in the experience of theatre had become terribly difficult. I had to build a multilinear narrative in my plays in such an extremely fragmented and odd state. I consciously avoided frenzy, pretense, and overreactions in my plays. I found it more important to make people think than to instigate people, shake them up, and create sensation. The challenge for me as a director was how to firmly put forth my political statement without compromise in the play. My plays have always placed importance on thought and ideology. I have always chosen to make plays that are grounded rather than grand. Not just world events, but the appearance on the Indian scenario too impacted my life in a big way. Right from the demolition of the Babri Masjid to the Gujarat riots, religious fundamentalist forces have played havoc. Thinkers have been murdered in cold blood. I wish to express through theatre the suffocation in my surroundings. This has always been the guiding principle in the choice and presentation of my plays. I have always strongly wished for my plays to be organically connected to my surroundings and my time, as well as find an audience in various circles. So, I always take my plays to a variety of audience in different places. Similarly, I have made plays with people from various strata of society. I have made plays at Nasik, Kankoli, Jalna, Heggodu, Solapur, and so on. After the brutal murder of Dr. Narendra Dabholkar, I created a new format called Ringan Natya and performed those plays all over Maharashtra. All these things have allowed me to make a socio-political statement in the narratives of my plays. I have also been able to protest against injustice as much as was possible. This is also my attempt to share my feelings of disconnectedness, discontent, my protest, and my harrowing life experiences with others. For me, directing a play is a very long process. Enjoyable, but at the same time very painful. I am usually intensely involved in each of my plays right from the writing process. On occasions, I have even suggested subjects and gotten plays written for me. I get plays rewritten. Along with the writer, I too am creating my voice in it. To that end, I modify visuals, language, and words. I create options. I would like to give the example of Satyashodak in the context of restructuring a play. The written script and the performance script are quite different. Similarly, I would like to mention Samaj Swasthya. The original play was quite different. Through extensive discussions, the play was entirely rewritten. The same thing happens with the Gola Yug when it was performed for the second time. The point of matter is that I am extremely demanding and insistent about the script content and the performance style. I check the content of the play from several perspectives. I try to create new structures. I try to go as close to the core as possible. I bring about an exchange of ideas in the workshop with actors. During the workshop and rehearsals, we read books, watch films, and meet subject experts. All the possibilities of voice and body are explored. I pay special attention to language. The spoken word holds great value for me. I stress upon practicing language. I teach listening and speaking. I get the actors to read the play repeatedly. Sometimes I simply make the scenes happen for them. I work very hard on body movements and actions and reactions of the actors. I give lot of emphasis on improvisation. Same thing happens with light, sound, costume and set designer. In short, I place importance on depicting the story in every way. Progressive subjects, contemporary content, appropriate casting, meaningful speech, easy projection of voice without the use of lethal microphones, awareness of the frame of the play, precise set and light design, prioritizing usage of necessary things, insistence on darkness, silence and orderliness in everything are utmost important to my directorial style. To this end, I have frequent conversations with my actors about theatre and other fields like architecture and so on. Also, I find it essential to de-glorify and demystify art of theatre. One has to be alert and aware all the time. This is my philosophy of theatre. Now, I shall attempt to examine what the narrative in some of my plays was, how it was connected to those times and which concepts were used to present it on the stage. In the initial period in 1988, I directed a play called Shita Yuddha Sadananda, a play based on novel written by Shyam Manohar. It spoke about hooliganism, idiocracy, fear and terror. At its core was a statement that people start behaving oddly when the situation becomes indecipherable. At the time, the building construction and land deals are emerging as the most profitable businesses. The corrupt and defiant attitudes of the middle class were coming to the fore. This narrative was distinct since it presented various forms of the depravity in society. In this play, to depict terror in all its forms, I used different design. Some scenes were performed in the dark, some in the light of torch, and some in the depressing light of a tube light. Also, I choose movements like flopping on the floor, crawling, and moving in an undirectional crazy way. Waiting for Godot was my another play, is an absurd play that has no story. I used to begin the play with showing Salvador Dali's painting, The Persistence of Memory. There used to be a tree on stage that resembles the one in the painting. In that play, I designed the movements of the characters to be flexible yet carrying some tension. I had used long silences and stretched pauses in this play. In this play, there is a close friendship, annoyance, dissociation, and exceptional pathetic state. It was an uphill task to become comfortable with the foreign language of this play, which was translated into Marathi by Madhuri Purandare, French to Marathi. I had taken extra effort over the speech patterns in this play. I tried my best to retain its musical quality like symphony. Waiting for Godot, 1993. I did this play from Nasik.
जल्दी आगे
कप्पा
सांभाळून तो मारकुट आहे म्हणजे माणसं अनोळखी असतील तर
तोच कहा कोण गोदो
मी माझी ओळख करून देतो पोचो
नाही रे तो गोदो नाही रे साहेब आपण गोदो साहेब का
मी पोचो हे नाव ऐकलं नाही कधी मी विचारतोय हे नाव तुम्ही कधी ऐकलं नाही का
बोझो बोझो
पोचो
अच्छा पोझो पोझो की बोझो पोझो नाही येतो नाव लक्षात माझ्या एक गोजू नावाचं कुटुंब होतं त्यांच्याही भरतकाम करायचं हे साहेब ते आम्ही इथले नाही आहेत साहेब
पण तुम्ही किमान माणसं तरी आहात का बघू निदान दिसतंय तरी तसेच माझ्याच जातकुळीचे पोझोच्याच जातकुळीचे देवाच्या कुळातले
म्हणजे काय आहे की
गोदो कोण तुम्ही मला गोदो समजलात
साहेब एक शोधर केलं साहेब
कोण येतो
बाबा म्हणजे असा त्या ओळखीचा काहीतरी काय आपली जेमतेम तोंड ओळख आहे ना आमची काही त्याच्याशी ओळख नाही पण तरी सुद्धा मला विचारलं तुम्ही त्याला ओळखू सुद्धा शकत
तुम्ही मला तोच समजला
नाही म्हणजे काय साहेब की अंधार थकवा अशक्तपणा वाट पाहणं म्हणजे मला वाटलं मी कबूल करतो ऐकू नका साहेब त्याचं ऐकू नका
वाट पाहणं म्हणजे तुम्ही त्याची वाट बघताय
त्याचा असा आहे म्हणजे
हे माझ्या जमिनीवर
आमचा हेतू वाईट नव्हता हेतू चांगलाच होता
रस्ता सर्वांच्या मालकीचा असतो
आम्हाला एक तसंच वाटलं सो इट वॉज वेटिंग फॉर गोटो आय ट्रीटेड दिस play like using Charlie Chaplin and Laurel Hardy kind of style for the acting, as well as the set was very unique because most of the actors they were from the architecture college. So the description in the set is there is a stone on the stage and one tree. So we as an architecture student, especially for Anuba, they suggested me that there should be a Corinthian kind of style of architecture which is deeply in the that land or like that. So anyway, that was the Waiting for Godot. In 1999, I directed a play based on that great thinker Socrates' life and work. It was called Surya Pahilela Manus by Makaranda Sathe. At the time, Narmada Bachao Andolan was at its peak. The trouble between the established and the displaced was escalating. This was the era of choosing greed over conscience. Moral values had beaten the dust and politics based on the new corrupt value system was taking root. In this environment, a sensitive person would face a dilemma about how to lead life. To this, our response was like Socrates. The play spoke about how each person should work hard to uphold their principles and face the challenges of their times. Strong visual impact was important in this play. I used a lot of cross movements in this play. Internalization and intensity was very necessary for each actor. I had visualized certain scenes in the style of great painter Rembrandt. Light, music, costume design played a vital role. I must tell you about the music of this play. Late Pandit Bhaskar Chandavarkar had created the music design in this play. Through the music, Socrates' transparent behavior and lone but determined fight was conveyed. He had made excellent use of only one instrument to do this, the cello. He had conveyed the core of the music through core of the play through music. Here, music too became the narrative. Surya Pahilela Manus, The Man Who Saw the Sun, 1999. Socrates, played by great Dr. Shriram Lagu.
Socrates. शांतपणे मृत्यू यावा म्हणून काही सूचना. एकच सांगू शकतो, विष प्यायल्यानंतर सारखा चालत राहा, त्यानं विष गुणायला मदत होते. हा, पाय जड होईस तर चालत राहा आणि नंतर आडवा हो. विष आपलं काम करेल. हे दृश्य नको म्हणून त्यांनी शांतीपेला घरी पाठवलं. माणसाला शांतपणे मृत्यू व्हावा यावर माझा विश्वास आहे. तेव्हा धीर धरा, शांत रहा. मी तुझे पाय दाबतोय, तुला जाणवत आहे ते? नाही. आता आता नाही. काय मला वाटतं एसकेबी देवाला नैवेद्य दाखवलं पाहिजे. तू माझ्या वतीनं एक कोंबड तुझ्याकडे नेऊन पोहोचवशील? लगोलग पोचवलं जाईल. आणखीन काय सांगायचं तुला सॉक्रेटिस? सॉक्रेटिस,
So that was Surya Pai Lalmanus and great Dr. Shriram Lagu. In fact, एक एक सीन लेके भी इसके ऊपर चर्चा हो सकती है, लेकिन we will. I just want to move forward because I just want to show the different styles in the last 38 years. What I have tried to do with the different plays. Sauk, the play written again by Makaran Sathe and directed both of us, made a similar statement. In this play, we see how when all ideologies have failed, society is stagnating during the period of tension between the one riot that has taken place and another that could happen any movement. This play was a different characters and their ideologies. The play comments on the chaos that happens when these characters and their divergent ideologies face off. This play had several multi-linear pieces. Some dialogues are said in their minds while some are uttered aloud. At the core of this play was identity crisis. Please watch how we created tensions and pressures on the stage. Chauk 2005.
काहीही हो, ज्यांच्या भावना बळकतच नाहीत असे काही म्हणजे ज्यांच्यासमोर एखाद्या बाईवर बलात्कार हो, बाबरी मशीद पडो, शिखांविरुद्ध दंगा, बॉम्बस्फोट, काहीही अहो रोजच्या जीवनातल्या साध्या साध्या पण महत्वाच्या गोष्टी तर कळतंय ना यांच्याकडे पाहून. नाही तर हे प्रताप चव्हाण ज्यांच्या भावना पटकन भडकतात असे एक ग्रस्त आहे. अर्थात त्यांच्या इतरही अनेक आयडेंटिटीज आहेत. उदाहरणार्थ ते पुरुष आहेत, हिंदू आहेत, अच्युत सारख्या विचारी मंडळींबद्दल ज्यांना अजूनही आदर वाटतो अशा अत्यंत मोजक्या लोकांपैकी एक आहेत. कुटुंबवत्सल आहेत, पूर्वी मराठा आहेत, एका फालतू कॉलेजमधून ज्यांनी मेकॅनिकल इंजिनिअरिंग या विषयात डिप्लोमा घेतलेला आहे आणि सॉफ्टवेअरचा एक कोर्स केलेला आहे अशीही अस्मिता असणारे आहेत. शेजारी आहेत अच्युतचे. अमेरिका पाकिस्तानच्या काहीशा विरुद्ध जाण्याची शक्यता निर्माण झाल्यामुळे सध्या ते अमेरिकेबद्दल प्रेम बाळगून आहे. कालच ज्यांची नोकरी गेली म्हणजे गेल्या 3 वर्षात चौथ्यांदा ज्यांची नोकरी गेली, त्यांची खरं तर काही चूक नसताना ज्यांची आजकाल आपण कायम 2 दंग्यांच्या मधल्या म्हणजे 2 भावना भडकण्याच्या सेट्सच्या मधल्या काळात वावरत असतो.
So it was Chauk. Now I will go directly. Okay, I will read. Another play written by Makarand Sathe and directed by me was titled Golayug. The ancient history of India has been marked by different ages such as Treta Yug, Dwapar Yug and Kali Yug. Similarly, the present age is the Golayug, the age of chaos. The 7 immortals interact with the complex postmodern world. This play was performed on an open stage. I used the depths and dimensions of this stage. After that, in collaboration with Rajkumar Tangade and Sambhaji Tangade, I made a play that made a political comment titled Dalpat Singh Yeti Gawa based on right to information. It was based on a screenplay written by Makarand Sathe. Whistleblowers were being murdered. Common people gaining access to right to information was an important milestone in the safeguarding of democracy. I had made the play with farmers and laborers from Jam Samartha village in Jalna district. The presentation style was close to street play. The characters in the play were so authentic that they formed the narrative. The simplicity of that play was at the core. Another play like this was Satya Shodak, was written by late Shri G.P. Deshpande. I did this play with sewage workers. That was a very special thing in this play. While studying Jyotibai and Savitribai Phule's ideology, I was thinking of its relevance in today's day and age. Increasing caste-related pride and hatred arising out of it is ever present in society. I also aim to give a voice to voiceless people. The style of this play was much like Satya Shodaki Jalsa. Please show Satya Shodak. We have done a lot of shows of Satya Shodak, nearly 118 in Marathi. I did that play in Kannada, in Heggodu. They did nearly 75 shows. पहिल्यापासून आला असेल अमर. हे दलपत आहे. प्ले सत्य शोधक. ज्याचा मान त्याचा हवा sewage workers, they were illiterate. So I used to, it's a different style of direction, all the time I used the style of direction at that time. Nearly 4 months of time was, I spent on talking with them, relaxing with them. They even don't know what is theatre and what happens inside the theatre, and they clean the whole city. But they are fantastic in their voice, the playing all the instruments, as well as they are very great in politics, understanding politics. So this is a shahir from Pune Mahanagarpalika Kamgar Union.
करती पट्टीची भारती मोठी धरती
This is Tewada, written by Jyotiba Phule, depicting what happens with the poor and the downtrodden people. They don't get education properly.
लहानची टोकली ती पोरं कळती ढोरांच्या वळती जोड नाही पावले ती बोलती अजी जी जोड नाही पावले ती बोलती जोड नाही पावले ती बोलती महारीच्या साऱ्या पोरा महारीच्या साऱ्या पोरा महारीच्या साऱ्या पोरा महारीच्या साऱ्या पोरा म्हणजे महाराजा पोरा महारीच्या साऱ्या पोरा महारीच्या साऱ्या पोरा शिकविणे विटाळ मानिती शिकविणे विटाळ मानिती शिकविणे विटाळ मानिती इंग्रजाशे हँड करती अजी इंग्रजाशे हँड करती इंग्रजाशे हँड करती इंग्रजाशे हँड करती अहो फुलांची शाळा इथंच आहे ना जी 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 भिड्यांचा वाडा हाच आहे आणि फुल्यांची शाळा पण इथंच आहे. आपण कोण? म्या गोपाळ रामोशी. नमस्कार. नमस्कार. काय काम काढले गोपाळ भाऊ? अरे गोपाळ भाऊ लेकर चक्क गोडपटा घालून आणली. अहो तात्या साहेब, अहो उगीच कोणाच्या डोळ्यात येऊ नये म्हणून.
पण म्हणून पोत्यात घालून आणायचं का पोरीला?
होय की.
कोमालच झाली हं?
This last scene was such creating tears in the thousands of people have seen this play, and every time they get shocked by this, just a single moment which I have created with on the stage. Anyway, I will skip this Samaswastha and all these things. And other than plays, I have also done short storytelling performance like Tarkacha Khuntivarun Nisaklela Rasya Parva Amcha Popatwala. And just now I did Kimaya with my friend architect Amol Safalkar in Solapur. And there is no story. We normally do that show in Bangalore. It's all about architecture, space, lines, water, stone, light, and forms. Anyway, I must share about 2 more experiments before I end my essay. This particular performance had no name. In its advertisement, I mentioned it as the first and last show. It was 15-minute performance. It had no story, but it was a wordless narrative. It was presented as a single visual punctuated by 2 blackouts of a few seconds. The scene was of a man who is sitting on the chair, Plaker, staring straight ahead without blinking. Suddenly, he starts bleeding from the mouth. Gradually, blood starts flowing from his entire body. The scene ends with the visual of the man being bathed in blood. When the music reaches at a crescendo, we hear 3 gunshots. There is a darkness. The man vanishes. Blood continues dripping. While performing this, there were 2 screens on the 2 sides of the audience. On one, only the head of the man was projected, and on the other, only the body. It was a numbing experience. This narrative only wanted to convey that a sensitive person bleeds from the inside and outside. Due to the projection, the audience got a three-dimensional image. Obviously, this was a social and political comment by me. Thank you. I have shared with you my realizations about narrative in theatre. I must humbly state that creating and spreading theatre that is connected to the society and current times is my grand narrative. Instead of my narrative in theatre, theatre itself has become my narrative. Thank you. Thank you, Amar.